So let's look at do-while loops. So what is the difference between a while loop and a do-while loop? So unlike for and while loops, what do-while loop does is it checks the condition at the very bottom of the loop, whereas the while or for loop checks the condition first and then runs the statements. So I'll write the basic syntax of do-while loop and then I'll explain it to you. So it goes like we write do these statements and at the end check if the condition is true or not. So here the condition expression appears at the end of the loop here, and whereas the statements are above. So this, what happens here is this do while runs the statement at least one time. Let's take an example. Say cout the value of a is equal to a and l. I'll initiate a with say 10 and I'll put the condition to be while a is equal to 0. So if this was a while loop, it would have been written as while a is equal to 0 and then cout the value of a is equal to a and l. This statement would never have run. Why? Because the value of a is 10 and my condition says only run this statement when while a is equal to 0. So this is false from the very beginning. Whereas what happens here is the do while loop first runs the cout and then checks for the condition. Let me change the output to be the value of a in do while loop is this and the value of a in while loop is this. So we can differentiate between the outputs. So when I'll run this code, we'll see that it will only output the value of a in do while loop, whereas this won't be printed. Let's run this code. And as I said, the value of a in do while loop is 10. So this happens because the do while loop runs this statement at least one time and then checks for the condition. We can say while a is greater than 0 and I'll decrement the value each time, a minus minus, and run. So here we go. It runs until the value is greater than 0, which is 1, and then it never enters the loop. So this was do while loops. We'll continue in the next lecture. Thank you.